agree. We no agree. We no agree. We no agree.
These are electricity consumers. These consumers insist that the power supply has either been too epileptic or they are overbilled by a system known as estimated billing, introduced by the distribution companies for non-metered customers. There is a directive for every customer to be metered, but the distribution companies are falling short in this regard, focusing more on the estimated billing system. The three major points of worry for electricity consumers in Nigeria are the lack of meters, untrustworthy estimated billing system for non-metered customers, and ultimately, the absence of adequate electricity. A look at history indicates the efforts made by successive governments to improve power supply and its management. The history of electricity development in Nigeria can be traced back to the end of the 19th century when the first generating power plant was installed in Marina, Lagos in 1898. Its total capacity then was 60 kilowatts. In 1929, electricity generation activities kicked off in full with the creation of the Nigeria Electricity Supply Company, NESCO, but then only government officials and houses had access to electricity. However, this changed in 1950 when the colonial government established the Electricity Corporation of Nigeria, ECN, which moved to provide electricity for any Nigerian who could afford it. The power sector started experiencing a decline in maintenance, and coupled with the fact that more people demanded electricity, the good days of good electricity faded. In 1962, an Act of Parliament established the Niger Dams Authority (NDA), which was responsible for dam construction after discovering the innumerable benefits that would accrue from the dam. This led to the construction of Kainji Dam in 1962, which was eventually completed in 1968. However, the ECN and the NDA merged to form a unified body known as the National Electric Power Authority, NEPA, on the 6th of January 1973. By 2000, power supply had dropped to as low as 1,500 megawatts. Then-President Olusegun Obasanjo, in his effort to improve electricity supply, introduced the National Electric Power Policy in 2001, which led to the creation of the Power Holding Company of Nigeria, PHCN, in 2005. The PHCN as a company was unbundled into 18 companies, 6 generating companies, 1 transmission company, and 11 distribution companies. The federal government owns 100% of the transmission company, 20% equity in the generation companies, GenCos, and 40% equity in the distribution companies, DISCOs. Electricity is the hub of both economic and technological development. More important is the fact that every other sector of the economy depends on adequate supply of electricity. Reports say Nigeria, with a population of over 180 million people, has one of the lowest rates of net electricity generation per capita in the world, 200 kilowatt-hour, which is a fraction of the 355 kilowatt-hour per capita for Ghana and 4,229 kilowatt-hour per capita for South Africa. Power generation falls short of demand, resulting in blackouts, load shedding, and reliance on private generators for power supply. History was made by Nigeria at 9:30 p.m. on Tuesday, February 2nd, 2016, as the country, for the first time in the history of its electricity generation profile, attained a milestone of about 5,074 megawatts of electricity. The previous highest maximum daily energy was 107,142.32 megawatt-hour, recorded on January 26, 2016. The issue of electricity theft, poor installation and vandalization of electricity installation cannot be ruled out. Vandalization of oil and gas pipelines and power infrastructures have impeded development of the power sector and cost the power sector billions of naira in repairs, while threatening the over 7,000 megawatts electricity generation and transmission capacity in the Nigerian electricity supply industry. Government and relevant agencies are hitting hard on the perpetrators.
We will not hesitate to invoke sanctions when somebody has violated the rules and regulations and the person is building substandard installation that will be a risk and injurious to life and property. If you look at it, we have an incident in Jos. In all cases, they are not likely to be your members. You know, they are the quacks which are trying to weed out. But we say that your members too should be adequately cautioned.
Available Nigeria police crime statistics reveals that from January 2017 to date alone, there have been a whopping 233 cases of vandalization of electricity infrastructure in Abuja, Nasarawa, Kogi, and Niger states, resulting in an estimated over 500 million naira economic loss to the company and country. Even at that, these very disturbing statistics represent only the reported cases. In reality, the figures and losses could be worse. This unfortunate situation, if not urgently checked, will lead to a worse socioeconomic situation for the country. Modern economies the world over are driven by availability of steady and sufficient electricity used for production of goods and services. A large and fast-growing economy like Nigeria cannot afford to allow electricity vandals to sabotage the quest to building a strong economy.
Electricity theft and vandalism has gone unchecked for too long across this country. Today marks a new era in the Southeast, and you, as members of this task force, have the task on your hands, and it is a pressing national duty. Your job from today is to work assiduously in collaboration with Enugu Electricity Distribution Company to investigate and prosecute all cases of electricity theft within the area of coverage. You are also charged with the responsibility of investigating and prosecuting all electricity theft cases